We achieve it through the mission, and then we achieve it through the values and the behaviors that we create. The mission is simple. Healy World creates revolutionary products and opportunities to empower you to thrive and live a life of freedom, passion, and joy. We deliver frequencies for your life. And then we have 7 values. We think customer first. And this isn't just the company thinking about customer first. This is about you thinking customer first as well. We are passionate about delivering the best customer experience. We strive for excellence in everything we do. We are innovative. Imagination, creativity, and continuous evolution in all we do is the essence of our daily business. And innovation isn't just what you see. It isn't just what I'm wearing here on my shoulder. Its innovation appears in many different ways. We are one team. We cooperate and collaborate in the best interests of our community and our mission. And that way, everybody wins. You know what? People say, oh, I'm an independent Healy World member, and I can say I work for the company. But at the end of the day, we all have the same interests. And the best thing is when every single person wins. Integrity. This is a very important one for a long-term business with ambitions like ours. We have an ethical, open, and transparent approach in all we do. Always act with integrity. I was once taught that if you wouldn't say it in front of your grandmother, it probably wasn't going to be very good to say it anywhere else. So always remember integrity. We're reliable. We take responsibility and accountability for everything we do. We honor our promises. We're a safe pair of hands. You have customers that trust in you, and we will look after you to enable you to go out and talk to more people about this amazing product and this amazing business that you're part of. And we care. We take care of each other, treating nature and all creatures with dignity and respect. And finally, we dream. Health and well-being is the habit to make our dreams come true. If you think about all of these, how do you live them every day in your life? How do you interact with people using these? And this is absolutely wonderful because this is a life journey. This isn't a one-off. And we will be referring and using the vision, mission, and values a lot more as we continue our path of this evolution. So I've now given you the introduction, and now I'm going to introduce to you our first speaker of the day. He needs no introduction, really, because he's our founder. So Marcus, I'm going to bring you on now. If you're ready, do come on and say hello. And I'm going to come out of this. Great. And I will have your presentation ready for you. Good morning. How are you?
Good morning, Gavin. I'm fine. Great, actually. Thank you.
Wonderful. Over to you, Marcus.
Thank you so much, Gavin, for again reminding us or presenting the values and the vision and the mission. Actually, before I start, I'd like to greet everyone. I was so fascinated by reading again through this very, very powerful statement. And I was thinking deeply about it, because if we see such a strong values and such a clear vision, we may think, oh, do we really come up to it? Do we really live up to it? And if one looks very critical, one will always say, no, I'm sorry, I'm not living up to it, or I'm failing to fulfill the standard. That one shouldn't be so critical with oneself, because it's really these values are the ordering principle within yourself, within myself, and they are forces which order our life. So sometimes we start in a chaos, but then we see these forces actually ordering our activities, are ordering what we are doing with others, and putting in order even our environment. Values are not just there to direct our own actions, but they are actually, if they are rooted very deeply within yourself or within ourselves, They will even start to order our environment. It will even influence the people around it, starting to behave according to these values. So we will, when we do a lot of things, and we are doing a lot of things simultaneously, we will always sometimes, in some areas, not be able to live up fully to these values. But I believe, especially if I look at the people who are helping and who are doing this Healy world, that they all have the heart in the right place, and they all are driven by these values. And because I know that almost everyone I know, basically everyone I know within Healy is driven by these values, and that together we have such a strong coherent force that we at one point will see that we are live it to our full capacity. So this deep, deep level where the values are rooted, and from where the values are rooted, and from where the values are acting, this is what I call the information field. You can have the values also somewhere else, for example, on your lips. Then it will not be very effective. If they are just on your lips, that's not enough. They can be in your throat or they can be in your belly, but ultimately they will be in your heart. So if they are in your heart, because your heart is always connected to the information field, as your brain is, then the values will act from such a deep level that your whole life is carried by those values. Even in chaotic times, even in the times where you seem to not to know what you shall do the next step, you can be sure you can trust it. You can have the faith that if you have the right values and if you want to act according to them, you are safely riding through the waves of the ocean of life. It doesn't matter what kind of storm or hurricane will come, the values are what carries us. It's the values, it's the purpose in our life, and it's our intentions and our spiritual identity. This is the heart from where we are living individually, but also collectively. And this is why I'm, after now uh, more than 2 years, so happy with Healy World, because I see the values are there, the vision is in the heart of the people, of the top management, of all the employees, and of in our leaders, and so many of our members, that I know it can only go into the right direction. So how to connect to this deep level? And that's one strong purpose of Healy. It's connecting you through frequencies to your heart. It's connecting you through frequencies to the information field behind, and the information field behind, according to my understanding, and this is kind of emerging science, more and more scientists, like very established one like David Bohm or Carl Friedrich von Weizsäcker, the fathers of quantum physics like Heisenberg or Wheeler and Wigner, they had this understanding that on its deepest, Heisenberg or Wheeler and Wigner, they had this understanding that on its deepest level, reality is information. There is an implicit information field behind everything, which is not only connected to my own consciousness, but it is the place, it is the home where all the conscious beings, or all the consciousness of all sentient beings are connected, and they are woven a net of consciousness, of intentions, of deep inspirations and intentions. And this is what carries the world. And this is what ultimately will lead the world to become a better place. So the information field, even as it's not recognized by orthodox science, orthodox science will understand there's information, but they don't understand, or they don't represent this to be a fundamental level of reality. So it's a question, where do we act it on a spiritual level? Because information field is a spiritual level because it's holistic. It contains the influences of the whole universe, not only in a material sense, but also in a mental sense, and also on the soul level, on the consciousness level, on us in every very moment of our life. So, and I believe that Healy is designed, this is at least my intention, to give us a chance to connect to this deep level. And the Healy coil, and therefore I'm to give us a chance to connect to this deep level. And the Healy coil, and therefore I'm loving the Healy coil so much because it gives me the chance to always have the Healy around without being disturbed by cables. Of course, for very specific purposes, I will always use the cables. That's because it touches even more to the material, whereas the Healy coil is a real gap bridger. It bridges the gap which we find between the spiritual and the material, or between the information field, you can say up there, and the matter down there, or you can put it way around, the information field down there and the matter up there. Because we are first, on the first place, we are a being in this information field. We are a conscious being, and we are all connected on this level. We are connected by values. In societies, we sharing values. Otherwise, how could we live together? Sometimes we are quarreling, but if we would come together, we see as human beings, even if we are polarized on the material level, that going deeper on a deep even if we are polarized on the material level, that going deeper on a deeper level, we will find our common values. And that's really the area, that's really the level where we should build our relationships on, where we should build our identity on, and where we will find our deepest values. So this deep level, just call it technically now the information field, is separated from the material. There is an energetic gap because, according to my understanding and the understanding of quantum field theories like Viciello and Umezawa, the information field actually is embedded in the quantum vacuum, and that's a zero energy state, whereas all matter has a certain minimal amount of energy. So between matter and the information field, there is an energy gap. And this energy gap is bridged over by what I and David Bohm, for example, call the quantum potential. The quantum potential is a very subtle level of fields, which is kind of an implicit order to the material connecting the fields, which is kind of an implicit order to the material, connecting the material to the holistic level of reality, or what I call the information field. So I prepared a picture for it, which you already know, and I like to ask Gavin to show the, yes, it's a PowerPoint presentation because I was asked to put one together, but this doesn't mean that I need to go through all the slides. I will just move forward. Oh, yes, on the way. Just yesterday, Professor Dr. Harald Wallach, this is the editing team, thought it's a mistake. Oh, there's a doctor too much. No, he actually has 2 doctor titles because he's a very universal scientist, and around 500 scientific publications in very, very good journals, up to Foundations of Physics, I believe, when he published his paper on generalized quantum physics. Maybe it was a different journal, but a very good journal. So he is our scientific advisor for studies, but not only for studies, but also for the the foundation of scientific and foundation of how Healy works. So he administered, not administered, but he was advising and guiding the whole process, how we did the Healy coil study in the last 2 months. And yesterday we received the article of the paper which he has written in the last weeks on the result of the Healy coil, where he has analyzed all the data, the raw data, and he did all the statistics and so on. We have prepared for you as new slides, very simple slides with the results of this, but you will get them in the presentation on the Healy coil. I'd just like to read to you his conclusion. Is actually the last sentence of the conclusion or discussion area of his paper. The paper is called Self-Application to Improve Mental and Physical Well-Being Using 2 Bioenergetic Feedback Devices, a randomized controlled trial. What's this 2 bioenergetic feedback devices? If you look at the results, we have a control group. It's a control group which didn't do anything for 2 weeks. Then we have a group which used Healy with the cables, and we have a group which used Healy with the coil. And so he considers this to be 2 bioenergetic feedback devices, technically. And he said, this is his last statement, we conclude that bioenergetic therapy using Healy or Healy coil is effective in improving general well-being and individual compliance in medically healthy volunteers. The 2 active interventions are roughly equal in effectiveness, with the traditional Healy being somewhat more effective, but both are clearly superior to no application control. Thus, these devices can be considered useful self-application options. So that's interesting. It's called self-application options because you use the Healy for yourself. You don't need help from anyone to like a therapist or a practitioner to place it on you, but it's so simple that it will work without anyone helping you. So the difference between using the cable electrodes and the Healy coil is that they are using different physical mediums or fields to transport the frequency. Because in both cases, it's the frequency generator inside the Healy, in the middle of the back of the Healy, the frequency generator, which produces the frequencies electrically on the basis of the analysis of the information field where the frequencies are picked from. So that's the same in both application, like with the cables or the coil. And then it's amplified, and the amplified the frequencies or the frequencies are modulated on microcurrents. Therefore, we are calling them microcurrent frequencies, and then they go to 2 electrodes because they need to flow as electrical currents through your body. In this case of the Healy coil, it works differently because here the same amplified microcurrent frequencies are running through the double coil of the Healy coil. It's a double coil because each of the 2 coils generates a separate magnetic field. It generates a separate magnetic field, but the polarization of these 2 fields is opposite to each other, and therefore they nullify each other. So in the end, we have a field, a magnetic field, which is 0. So you cannot even say it's a magnetic field. It's 0 or it's almost 0 to be ineffective as a magnetic field. But behind the magnetic field, and that's the great secret, there's a so-called vector potential or magnetic potential, or we like to call it quantum potential, which influences the quantum fields of the body And secondly, it's influencing also the particles, the charged particles in the organism on the quantum level. And therefore, I like to call it quantum potential. So the quantum potential works on a deeper level, on the level where particles are propagating at waves. And if they propagating of waves, wave have a frequency, wave have a wavelength, and now that's very, very important, they have a phase. And the phase is a measure of if the two frequencies are vibrating coherently, aligned with each other, or are they, for example, vibrating against each other? This determines if, for example, in a double slit experiment, we find on the screen a bright spot, then we have constructive interference and the phase shift is 0. Or if we have black spots, then we have opposing vibrations where the phase shift is 180 degrees. And that's really what counts, what is the influence of the quantum potential. So frequencies on the quantum potential, like in the Bohm-Aharonov effect, they are actually shifting interference patterns because they are influencing the phase angle of the waves, of the wave function, means on the quantum level of reality. So that's, don't want to go deeper in it, but just mention very briefly, coming back to what I was explaining just before in the last maybe 10 minutes ago, that I said that the coil is a gap bridger. It's bridging the gap between the information field U and the material U. The Professor Vicello, a very famous quantum field theorist, he considers that there to be a double of our material existence, means our molecular body, our molecular brain. He discovered a double in the quantum vacuum. And this double I call the information field, the individual information field of a person, which is embedded within a global information field. But I see it the way around. I don't think that we have a double in the information field. I don't think we have a double in the quantum vacuum. But I consider this material body to be the double of our real identity in the information field and beyond, our spiritual identity. I would even go farther. I would say our body is something like our stuntman to survive in the material world. Like Madonna had a song, "I'm a girl in the material world." So we have a stuntman or a stunt woman in the material world because it's a dangerous place, you know. Just 4 weeks ago, I went out with my son in a kayak on this beautiful lake in front of me, and we almost turned around 180 degrees, and the water was so freezing cold, you couldn't imagine. It's northern Germany, that if we would have really done this, I don't know if we would have been able to swim back to the shore. So there's danger step on each step in this world. So we need a stuntman, and that's this body. That's not really us. We are on a much deeper level connected with our consciousness in the information field to all living beings and basically to the whole universe. On this level, it really makes sense. On the lower material level, where our stunt man is performing so many things, nowadays more virtually on the internet, but hopefully soon we will have a lot of amazing stunts again. All our stuntmen coming, or stunt women coming together and having big meetings and interacting on the personal level. Yeah, so, and there's a gap in between. And in this picture, which I have shown already before, the gap is there between the information field and the material. And the coil is designed to bridge this gap. It's connecting. It's meant to connect. The frequencies through the coil are meant to bridge this energetic gap between the information field and the matter. This, of course, is not recognized by orthodox science, but this is my personal view, which I have aligned with many, many scientists who work on this emerging level of consciousness science and information field science. But not only the coil is bridging gaps, but there are 3 gaps. You see this dotted line here, which is separating the material, the molecular, from the fields. And you see the dotted line here between the global and the individual information field. I believe the cable applications, they are bridging this gap in the material, and the resonance applications with the Heal Advisor analysis app, they are bridging this gap between our bioenergetic field, which is a part of our individual information field, and the global information field. And that's so important. It's also bridging the gap between our bioenergetic field and our mind and soul field, because in a way, there is also in the information field, there is a gap between the individual or the material related to the transpersonal or the spirit related. So Healy, I consider Healy to be a gap bridger. It's overcoming the 3 energetic gaps which we find in reality between the different levels of reality. So, my time is running. I'm sorry. So I will just give you 2 or 3 practical tips how to work with the Healy coil. First, the Healy coil is very compact. So Healy and the coil together, you can consciously place it at different points of your body very easily. For example, I love to wear it here at the neck because it connects the heart, here's the heart, and the head. So I have it close to my 5th chakra, which is bridging the gap between the 6th and the 4th. And if I talk about chakras, I'm actually more referring to the physiological systems behind, like epiphysis, hypophysis, like thyroid gland, like the heart with its network of nerves and its endocrine system. So, but I also love to wear it as at my belt. So it's very practically to place it there. And then it's influencing more the 1st and 2nd chakra, means the sexual glands and the adrenal gland, and harmonize them on the bioenergetic level. So it's good for grounding and energizing our sense of security and our self-consciousness on being a girl or a boy in the material world. And then there's the solar plexus. This is more in the center, and on my shirt, not on my skirt, but on my shirt, I can just put it here in the middle, in the center, and here you see it. And then it's acting on this plexus solaris. It's a nervous bundle of nerves of the autonomous nervous systems. And if I use it here, my intention is to harmonize stress or pressure or energy disbalances. Here you can use it with the energy program, for example. Yes, there are so many more applications, but I can just cover this 2 or 3. One great way to use the coil is to energize water. Water is such an amazing carrier of information. So informing water means to imprint information from the information field, for example, the information of coherence on the water. So this is, of course, a concept which many times is just considered to be esoteric, and orthodox science doesn't recognize it. But I believe that water as the basis of life does not only carry molecules, but it also carries information, and that it is very sensitive to the quantum potential. And the helicoil is great for animals because the animals I know, like cats, for example, and dogs, they don't like so much cable electrodes because they are many times very active. But you can just place it in somewhere, and animals like to lie on it, or you can attach it to their belt if they have one, and they can easily wear it while moving around. So there's much, much more about it, but I was now comprehending in 30 minutes what I've presented in 2 hours 2 days ago to the winners of the coil promotion. This was wonderful to have 2 hours and not be in time constraint, but I could give you, in a nutshell, I could give you some some important points from this presentation. So thank you very much, and I hope you will soon be able to get the coil. I think it's scheduled for 1st of June that it will be available, but actually I would suggest to have it available from today, but I don't know if this is possible. We have to ask Gavin. Let's see.
Do you know what, Marcus? I know that you're always wanting to get the impossible, but we've made it possible. It's actually on sale from right now. So we have moved some mountains, and the supply chain has done a super job. It's actually available to you right now on the shop as we speak. So you're the first people to know this. So
wonderful.
fantastic.
That's very wonderful because the 1st of June was scheduled, and normally we are not always before schedule because things are so complex we are doing. But this is a result of having deep intention in the information field on the consciousness level. So then there's a big chance it manifests in the material also. Great. Thank you, Gavin.
I think it might be linked to when you launched the coherence program, Marcus. I think I really think so. Thank you very much indeed. I mean, it's an absolutely super presentation. I'm just going to recall another presentation at the moment, and thank you once again. Let me just keep going. I'm going to have to quickly do something at speed here, which is just go through the slides we'd already had. But what I wanted to say to you, Marcus actually mentioned he did a very special helicoil winners training on Wednesday, and it was 2 hours long. Marcus, we give him 15-20 minutes on this platform, and it never feels enough time. And I'm seeing the comments from you, I'm seeing the feedback and the gratitude to all that Marcus has been doing from when he's brought the Healy to us through the time wave of technology, through bringing the coil, and through everything else that he has left in his magic laboratory to come. But my advice to all of you is you can qualify for these special trainings. Okay, we had a lot of people that worked very hard and were working on the Healy coil promotion incentive that was launched a couple of months ago. But they had something, 500 and something plus were on the call, but we had over 1,000 and something qualifiers, and everybody that was on that call, even after 2 hours, wanted more. And the depth of training that you get, the quality that you get, and Marcus also took Q&As in those meetings. So my advice to all of you is whenever you're left wanting more of these things is to qualify for everything, because believe me, the experience that those people had on that call, let them share it with you. So I want to take just a quick moment to do some quick recognition around the globe. I know we're on the Asia Pacific call, but I think it's very important that everybody around the world understands who the big hitters are and who the hardest workers are across the globe. So this was the Healy coil promotion, and congratulations to the #1 qualifier in the US, Tara Berner. And if we look at the other people there, congratulations to all of you. The work that you did to get into the top 10 in your markets is very much to be applauded. If we look at Europe as well, congratulations, Ronald Gruber, and congratulations to everybody else on this top 10 list. This shows how hard you're working, and this is showing you your results as well. And then when we come to Asia Pacific, congratulations to Lao King Hua, particularly #1 in Asia Pacific. And another tip for you, these people are in your networks. You're all in common groups with these people. Ask them what they did. Ask them how they did it. Ask them how they were able to be so successful, because you know something, you've had a masterclass from Marcus on the workings of the Healy coil, but what you also have in this group of people are people who know what they're doing. They know how to make Marcus's work and make the product actually help benefit other people. So I want you to use this recognition as well. Congratulations to everybody on that. But always use those people, speak to those people, find out what they've done. Because believe me, these are the people that are trailblazing in the business right now. And as Marcus said, we originally had the Healy coil planned for sale from next Tuesday. But because we pulled some strings and ran the coherence programs and put some very positive energy into the universe, it is online now. Now, I don't suggest that you order quite yet, unless you've got a second apparatus, because what we're about to see now is even something more exciting in a minute. So as I told you before, the Healy World Evolution is gathering pace. And just to remind you all that July the 1st is going to be a very significant date for the company, because we're going to be launching the brand new compensation plan. I've had the pleasure to have a look at it and to see it. And all I'm going to tell you is that in my 13 plus years in this industry, I've never seen something better. There is something for everybody at every level. And that's all I'm allowed to say. On this, you will have a proper in-depth training in the next Frequency Friday, and we'll have a brand new look back office as well. And I can't say more than that. Just to skip through that one, because now I've got a fantastic guest speaker now. And if you want to get yourself ready, young Mark, I'm just going to give you a quick introduction. I had the pleasure of joining the business on pretty much the same day as this man. And of course, we're not allowed to be in the same room. We're not allowed to be anywhere near each other. And but the energy that was coming through from Australia to the UK on that day was phenomenal. And I thought, does this man ever rest? Does he ever stop? He's like a Duracell bunny. For those of you that have the Duracell bunny in your regions, he's just phenomenal. The energy, the stamina, but the passion and the enthusiasm. I honestly believe, Mark Boonsayer, if you were not in our industry, and this is exactly where you belong, by the way, you belong at Healy, you belong as a head of sales with your enthusiasm and energy. I could see a great career for you in TV presenting as well. But for now, I'm afraid we will have you presenting on this screen on this call. So welcome, Mark. Over to you.
Awesome, Gavin. Thank you so much. Wow, what an introduction. Oh my word, from Healy leader to potential TV star. I think I got a couple of careers all mapped out there. But Gavin, thank you so much for that wonderful introduction. And ladies and gentlemen, I just want to take a moment also to acknowledge Gavin and all the work that he does behind the scenes. Just because he doesn't, front the business like a lot of us get the opportunity to, the work that Gavin has put behind the academy and being recognized and promoted to our global marketing leader. We're incredibly blessed to have him. And Gavin, just thank you so much for everything that you do. All right, everyone. Well, you're in my hands right now, and I'm incredibly excited to be sharing with you something that I know you've all been waiting for, that you've wanting more detail on. You've been wanting to, I've been messaged, over and over again about, when are we going to get this information? Can we please get it? Well, I'm thrilled to be sharing with you today that I'm going to be talking to you about the new pricing and subscription strategy. Now, please be patient, because there is a lot of information that you're going to be getting through this call. So please take the opportunity to grab a pen and paper if you don't have one, because you're going to want to scramble a whole heap of notes, that's for sure. So I'm going to do my best to demystify everything that is happening with the new subscription model that kicks in on the 1st of July. And I'm going to do my very best to explain the variances, the things that you will be able to do and won't be able to do. So hang in there and we'll get through it. If you do have questions, please feel free to chuck them into the chat box, because we will also use those for frequently asked questions when we are building the full training for the actual official launch. So let's get into it without further ado. Okay, so what is it that we're trying to achieve? Well, what we're trying to achieve is we're trying to position you and Healy to have sustainable businesses. Now, what does that mean? Well, what it means in essence is when we are building the packages are designed so that they are fully scalable. So our business model now allows us to reach customers that we otherwise maybe wouldn't have been able to reach because of the price of Healy's under the original model, because the original model was all about paying an upfront price once off, and then that was it. And that meant that we had to account for only a one-off cost, which meant that the pricing was so much higher. The beauty about the model that we have right now is that it's so accessible from anyone in any market, and it covers a combination, right? It covers a combination of lifetime products as well as subscription-based products that are attached to certain models. And then in addition to that, we will have additional programs that you can add onto any one of your packages. So it's really flexible. It's really designed so that you can get the very best out of your Healy. And I'm going to go into explaining how the different packages really work. Well, first and foremost, the entry-level product that we're going to have is basically a lifetime purchase product, and it's coming in as the Healy Gold. The price is 417 euros, and in the compensation plan, it will count for 250 PV. Now, here's what you need to understand about Gold. Gold will include the Gold Cycle, it will include bioenergetic support, and the Heal Advisor search module. Now, I'll also share that the search module will be across all the Healy packages that you can get. Now, you will notice here that there is no bundle that is offered, but here you do get the 3 lifetime programs. So you will have those for life on your one-off cost that you pay. Now, as you want to progress and experience a greater value out of Healy, right, there are different packages that you can access. So the one step up on Healy Gold is Healy Holistic Health. Now, this will be at a price of 837 euros, and for the member, it counts for 500 PV. Now, here's what you're going to get. You're going to get 5 lifetime programs, plus you're going to get 3 bundle programs. Now, the reason why we provide these bundle programs is so that when you go onto the subscription part after the 3 months of included subscription that is in this price, you're going to be able to get our best value, which I'll explain a little bit later. So check out the inclusions that you'll get with this subscription. You're going to get fitness, you're going to get Bioenergetic Harmony 1, as well as Bioenergetic Harmony 2, which I think is massive value when it comes to the package. But look what you're going to get on top of what you would have got out of Healy Gold. You're also going to get Mental Balance. You're getting Meridians 1 and 2, right? So there's massive additional value there for the entry price that you pay. Now, our newest model that isn't available, but will be available in our new subscription offer, will be called Healy Aura. Now, this will come in at a price of 1,257 euro and will account for 570 PV. Now, once again, you're going to get your subscription component, and your subscription component is going to include everything that you got out of Healy Holistic Health, but you're going to get the addition of local stimulation, and you're going to get the sleep programs. So that's what you're getting in the subscription component. But let's have a look what you're going to get on top of what you would have got for Healy Holistic Health in the lifetime programs. Well, you're getting one additional one, right? So now you're getting 6 lifetime programs, and that additional one includes Aura, and we know how many amazing programs are embedded within that. Then you get Healy Resonance. Now, Healy Resonance is going to come in at a value of 1,670 euro and will account for 1,000 PV. And this is really going to be the highest subscription pack that you're going to be able to get through the online shop. So check it out. In the subscription pack that you'll get included for the first 3 months when you purchase your Healy Resonance, right? So on top of what you would have got with Aura, you're getting chakras, you're getting bioenergetic revitalization, and you're also getting the learning programs. Now, you also get an increased lifetime program, which takes you to a total of 7. And in there, you will see it has the resonance programs included. Now, I suppose the one-off cost, the full lifetime purchase Healy Professional, which I suppose is comparable what you have with Healy Resonance in today's world, is very similar. However, it does include a number of additional programs that your current Resonance doesn't have. And that includes beauty, job, bioenergetic defense, skin, and digital nutrition, right? So you got 20 lifetime programs. There's no bundle and no ongoing subscription, but you are going to pay for it. It is €4,169 and represents 2,500 PV. So that's the subscription in a nutshell. What I would like to point out at this point is that when it comes to the US, Canada, and India, we will have the gold cycle that will include respective medical programs, right? And the reason why we're doing that is just due to some regulatory requirements and how we classify the product in those markets. So that's the summary of the new pricing and subscription strategy. I do also want to point out that if you are on a current Healy device, so this is you're on a Healy device prior to the 1st of July, you will be able to include some of the subscription packs, all the subscription packs that we do provide. So you will be able to add those as and when you like. All right, so let's get into what happens after the 3 months. So once you've taken your Healy device that you've purchased through your shop, the 3 Healy devices that have subscription options are that are part of the pack are Healy Holistic Health, Aura, and Healy Resonance. Now let's take a look at Healy Holistic Health and what you get in the pack. Now, this is most certainly going to be your best value pack, and it's based on a 40% discount, right, on the retail value. So what are you going to pay? You will pay €40, and that will count for 25 in personal value. Now, it includes the 3 that I covered earlier on, but what I do want to point out to is, should you decide that you no longer want to hold on to your Healy Holistic Health pack, you are not required or obligated to actually continue with a subscription. You will always have the lifetime programs that are associated with it, and you can always add on different programs at different times, and I'll explain those in a second. But what you won't get is you will never be able to get this 40% discount again. The maximum discount you'll only be able to get at any given time will be a maximum of 20%. So this is a once-off, and once you drop it, you will not be able to get it back. So Healy Holistic Health, just to reinforce once again, is a 40% discount. You're going to get it at a price of €40 and 25 PV. With Healy Aura, you're also getting a 40% discount. So that means you're only paying €65, and that will count for 40 PV. And then Resonance will be a 40% discount, and 100. It will reflect at €100 and 63 PV. Oh my goodness, I almost got my tongue tied. The other thing that I did want to mention is that with Healy Professional, if you wanted Healy Professional, you would need to purchase it outright at the time. You will not be able to upgrade to Healy Professional, and I will show that in a second, unless there is a special promotion that we do offer from time to time, and people will be able to then I suppose earn it or subscribe to it. So that's how that part is going to work. So let's take a look at the discounting, right? So let's say, for example, you've got Healy Holistic, the Aura, you've got the Aura module, and you want to add on some programs, right, to it so that it's more tailored to you. You're welcome to do that. If you just take one program group, there will be no discount attached. But if you take 2 program groups, right, you will get 10% discount. 3 program groups will be 15%, and 4 or more program groups or modules will be 20%. So there is still great value in being able to take on the packages, even if you did decide to drop the subscription component of the package that you came in on. All right, so here's looking at the detail behind what the upgrade costing would be. I'm not going to go through all of this really in great detail, but it's really just to give you an outline of what you can expect to pay for an upgrade based on the edition that you came in on. So for example, if you came in on Healy Gold, right, you just came in with the baseline no subscription model, right? If you wanted to upgrade to Healy Holistic Health, that price would be 540 euros and equate to 325 euro. And yes, you would have the packaged programs in the subscription for 3 months. So that 540 euros that you see there includes having the packaged programs for 3 months, and then you get the option to pick up the 40% discount on the subscription of those additional programs, okay? If you wanted to go from Healy Gold to Healy Aura, that's 960 euros or 575 PV. Through to Resonance, it would be 1,375 and 825 PV. And you will not be able to upgrade to Healy Professional unless there is a special promotion going on. Now, if you want to do yourself a favor, you know, if you add up the cost of upgrading versus the cost of coming in and purchasing your product outright, you would actually notice a massive difference in the price you will pay. So it's far more beneficial to take the plunge and choose the product pack that you want to come in on, or purchase the best that you can afford at the time, because by the time you upgrade, it is actually going to cost you more to upgrade through it. So I just did a little bit of math myself earlier on today, and it's definitely greater value to get it up front. Okay, so just want to point that out as well. So let's take a look at these program groups. So here you will see that there are 4 program groups. Now, the discounting that gets applied is dependent on how many groups that you have. So if you take 4 program groups, well then, or modules, you will then get the 20% discount. But this table here really just shows what is included in a module. So in wellness, that's the first module. You'll see the PV that is associated with that. And also you will see the monthly cost of that subscription. So wellness, you can see there that it's 10 euro. If you look at the second category, right, you will see that that is 17 euro on subscription. Third category, 25 euro on subscription. And then the fourth category would be 50 euros. All right. Now you can bundle these how you like. You can mix and match them. That is the beauty of having the flexibility of a subscription model, as opposed to just having static categories. So that's what we love about it. And as I said, just to reinforce, if you have a current Healy model, you will be able to add these bookable programs and modules to your current Healy device. I do want to point out, though, that you will not be able to upgrade your current Healy device. So if you're on Healy Holistic Health today, after the 1st of July, you won't be able to upgrade to Healy Holistic Health Plus. So I do want you to take advantage of everything that's in place today to get the best value out of your Healy. All right, so that brings me to the end of explaining the model. I hope you got some greater understanding of that. Yeah, I do see some comments here that the text was difficult to read. Can we get the slides? As you know, with the Frequency Friday, we do send out the review documentation that you'll be able to go through, and that will come across either later on this weekend, or it will be available early in the new week. So with that, Gavin, thank you so much for having me on the call. Hello, Asia Pacific. It's great to be on this call with you. I wish you a great close to the month and a very, very successful setup to the 1st of June.
Mark, thank you very much indeed. Fantastic explanation. And I think everybody should be very fired up and excited. If you're seeing this for the first time, everybody, do not worry, okay? Because we are not, this does not become live until July the 1st. And as Mark has just said, we will be sharing with you, and we will be sending to you more detail during this month. And the newsletter that we would normally send out today, we're going to actually delay sending out until Monday so that we can get all of this information packed together for you, and it goes through final checks. Because in any business, there might be a last minute tweak. So what we don't want to do is share something or send something out that isn't 100% as accurate as it is at that stage. So bear with us. Everything will come through to you from this call. Remember, you're seeing this first. You're seeing something that's going live on July the 1st today, on May the 28th. So you're ahead of the game, everybody, today. So let's continue. And I'm just going to say a very big thank you to Mark again. And I'll hopefully be seeing you soon, Mark. Then we'll move on to promotional announcements. Remember, we are still in May at the moment. So the first thing I would say is you still have the Power Play promotion. I'm not going to go through that detail with you now because it's been explained and has been mailed out a couple of times to you all. Make sure you read the newsletters, make sure you're subscribed to the newsletters, and make sure your team is too, because people often miss some incredibly vital information because they don't click on the newsletters or they're not actually subscribed to them. So Power Play promotion is still running. The upgrade promotion at the moment is still running to the end of this month. If you want to grow your business and maximize your month end, you've still got until Monday at midnight CET, Central European time, to do so. So let's go on to the announcements. The upgrade promotion. It is the final extension to the upgrade promotion. Why? Because after everything that we've just been talking about, it's appropriate for you, all of you, everybody that you bring to the business between now and the new version of the future compensation plan and the new version of the subscription model that Mark's just taken you through. Until then, you've got the chance to get the best possible deal and the best possible value by going for the upgrades on the promotion as well. And that applies to everybody that joins until the 30th of June. If you have someone that joins on the 1st of July, it will not apply, okay? We can't backdate. We can't do anything at that point because we're going to be switching to a brand new business model and a brand new way of working. So take advantage. A lot of you have already taken advantage. This really is the last month. We're not going to come back to you next month and say, oh, guess what? We're feeling sentimental. We want to do this again. No, we don't. We will finish this on the 30th of June, okay? So it's final calls, the doors are about to close. You've got one more month of the upgrade promotion. This is a brand new one that will start from June the 1st. So my first advice is close out your Power Play, push that hard with you and your teams to the end of this month, and then be ready for the double fast start cash bonus promotion, which is running for the month of June. This is a great cash boost for yourselves and a great little bonus for doing the basics of the Healy World business, which is introducing more people to the products and getting people to have incredible experiences with the Healy and the coil, Healy coil, and the other products that we have as well. So I'm going to read this very slowly and surely so that everybody is clear. At the moment, if you started, and this is, by the way, for all existing members as well, it's not just for people on a fast start, for this month only, okay? So you can almost pretend you've started the business again, but you've got more knowledge now. So if you sell a Healy Holistic Health Plus normally, in your fast start period, you would receive a €25 bonus on top of all of your other earnings. And if you'd sold a Healy Resonance, you'd receive a €50 bonus on top of all your other earnings. But because the word double is inserted at the beginning of this promotion, it means we can get a €50 bonus when you sell a Healy Holistic Health Plus. And the Healy Resonance has got a whopping great €100 bonus as well. And if you tie that in with the last month of lifetime purchase, it really is an absolutely fantastic way to thank all of you for all of your hard work that you've been doing while we've been bringing you everything new that we're going to be launching. And I suggest that you work to take advantage of it. Plan. If you don't plan, you'll find out that it's the middle of June and you haven't done anything. Okay? Always plan. Always plan, plan, plan. Because that is one of the keys to success in the business. So make the most of June. Close out Power Play. Power Play has not finished yet. It's got 3 more days. Those of you that are going for the Power Plays, which is a fantastic, very, very, very strong and positive and very rewarding promotion as well, close that out. Then make your start on the Healy Double Fast Start cash bonus and tie it in to the Healy Upgrade promotion too. So we've had some amazing presentations today. We've shared you a lot of information, and I now just want to bring you now onto a sort of a checklist of things to think about now for yourselves. So my advice always is make this your best month ever, because you've still got 3 days of this month to go. But June, if you've never been in the business in June, or if you have been in the business in June, you've got every reason to make June the best month you've ever had in this business. It's the last chance to upgrade. And don't miss this out. Don't miss out. It'll be a missed opportunity. It will never be as good as this for this last month. So make sure you speak to everybody that you've spoken to, even before. Make sure that they know that it's the last chance saloon. Make sure you have what you need to take advantage and put everything in place and have a plan with your team. A lot of your team wants to grow. A lot of your team wants to get great results and work with them. As a sponsor, as an upline, as a leader, you have a duty to the people that you work with. And there are some fantastic leaders in this business. And I know a lot of people who do a lot of hard work behind the scenes, even in terms of the leadership. Leadership isn't always leading from the front and publicly. It can be supporting people in many different ways. Work your promotions. Buy your Healy coil. Why? Because if you don't have your Healy coil, you can't really talk about the results you've had from a Healy coil. It's very simple. When people see you using something, then it's more obvious that they're likelier to buy from you because you have an opinion based on your usage of it. And get your customers to order theirs as well. Speak to your customers that you might not have spoken to for a long time. This is a really good chance to reopen some conversation and say, you know what, how are you getting on with your Healy X, Y, Z? Everything is good, but you know something? We now have this new Healy coil. So if you're a little bit fed up with the cables, this can be used as well as the cables. It means you won't have to use the cables as often. And then talk to them about how it works and how it goes on. It's a lovely upsell for you, for your existing customers. And it's a lovely way to remind them that you're still there for them as well if you haven't had that conversation for a while. Make yourselves ready for the new business model and the back office and compensation plan as well. And you will get more announcements, so make sure you read them as much as you can and read them over and over again, because you will not get everything from the first start. I know that the compensation plan is going to be majorly focused on over the coming weeks, and I know that by the time of Frequency Friday, we will have a lot of detail and a lot to share with you then. It's going to be a very busy Frequency Friday next month. So read as much as you can, be ready with it. And my final tips are really use and wear your Healy. wherever you go. I know it's not easy to go out in some places right now, but wherever you do go, go. And wear this like a badge, wear this like a button, wear your Healy, because believe me, Ken Close over in the States always wears his Healy. He was wearing it at the airport to go to Vegas for the American, for the final leg of the American tour and roadshow. And he had someone come up to him and say, "What is it that you're wearing?" Ah, funny, you should ask. So use and wear that Healy and talk to everybody you see. I'm going to leave you now with a lovely video just to remind you of our beautiful new product launch. It's out there now. It's live. And just want to thank you all for your attention. Thank you all for being here. Have a fantastic evening. Have a fantastic weekend. Close out this month and make sure that June is a super month for all of you. Thank you very much.